President.
By the way, I can agree with you, Fred. It's just that it's difficult for Sosion to get his head around the fact that you are trying to bring a point that, when you are speaking to a concluded mind, it's so difficult to shift. In fact, I'm so disappointed with Mr. Sosion, because you are a distinguished academic. People really respect you, and people think that you can actually advise the president properly. And maybe with you not being able even to see a point that is apparent, how important it is. And in fact, Fred, that's why I'm asking those surrounding the president, tell me, your friend, and I'll tell you who you are. Tell me whom you want to work with, and I'll tell you whom you are. If you want to walk next to Christ, remember Jesus said, you come follow me, isn't it? Go and see where I stay. Some people felt uncomfortable with that because Jesus did not even live in a nice place, because there are some people are thinking Jesus lives in a palatial place. He was a king. Discovered the guy even has no permanent house. He's just walking around. So some people got bored. But to go back to the same point, Fred, the president had a very intentional way to read this. It was not a by the way. I agree with you. And the thing is that it's not just about the text. It's also the context, the scene. When Obama flew from the US and made a speech in Cairo and talked about Islam, how Islam can coexist with Christianity, it was very intentional. That speech could not make sense in the US. It could only make sense in Cairo. You must sometimes be at the scene of crime. And to bring politics in the scene of corporate, I think those are not giving him the right advice. In fact, the business community needs to embrace the presidency. And Fred, let me tell you something.
Do you think that probably a shift in the president's way of addressing politics could probably, in a sense, give confidence to the business community?
Fred, Kenya,
instead of shouting from the rooftops of vehicles in a formal setting and from the speech?
Kenyan problem is not political, Fred. This is an economic scenario. Companies, 160 companies are closing and leaving the country, isn't it? You need to bring faith, breathe an air of confidence into the market. How did this conversation, you look at the setting, corporate CEOs are sitting there to know a company is being launched. Friend, look here. If I invite you for a launch of my company to the Nairobi Securities Exchange, I've invited all the CEOs from every business partners and the rest, and then you start feeding me with one term, Siji Maraga cannot be a president, then you lose the point. I agree with him, the point he brings across about Maraga, isn't it? That first of all, we have to believe in a country, isn't it? I think that's a good point from a head of state. It cannot be a failed state, by that matter, isn't it? But at the same time, what was the scene? Why do you leave State House to go and address Maraga in NSE? You understand? And my concern is that we must read the mood of the country. The people there don't like politics. And Fred, there's something that has been said but clearly, that some corporates are doing what wait and see. They are waiting to see, can William Ruto go so that people can have confidence to come back to do business? And that statement could be, Ruto going does not mean Ruto the person, could also mean the Ruto ways of doing government. If he came out today and said, guys, these are the issues we are facing economically, these are the issues that I want to see in the stock market, this is my vision for the stock market. Do you know that could breathe, actually that could make people see more confidence that the president for the first time is facing the issues of economics head on. Look at the exchange rate, which affects the stock exchange, you know that, isn't it? Look at the issue of investor flight. Those are issues affecting the stock exchange. Ease of doing business in Kenya, which affects the stock market, because Kenya is the worst in ease of doing business, only better than Juba, South Sudan. And these are not my statistics. Even if you go to Kenya Bureau of Statistics, you can find them. So my point I'm trying to draw here clearly that the president was invited to give confidence to the stock market. And his speech did not deliver that. So what is the value of a president? Look at, for example, when we just, when president had just taken office, then we have WRC, isn't it? When he entered that vehicle, the event was on fire, you understand? In Kasarani, when they are inspecting the stadium, When you could see a picture of the president with the ball on his head, maybe we don't like him, but it gives some confidence to football. You get me? You might not like him, but somebody who is not biased like me, seeing him might actually see that the stadium is ready. So that day, if he took his speech and started reading about Maraga, what confidence could that give to Chan? You understand me, Fred? Context matters, not just the text.
Okay.
The text was good, but not for that context. It was supposed to be taken elsewhere.
Let's focus on the texts, away from the context, Bwana Sosion. The president appears to be keen, at least in the last 1 week, to address his critics directly on the issues of the fact that he's been accused of overpromising, the kind of sloganeering or rhetoric one time